People fear what hides in the dark. They should be more afraid of what hides in plain sight. Tonight we open the file of something buried beneath the North Sea, a scar hidden under hundreds of meters of sediment that scientists argued about for more than 20 years. Some believed it came from deep beneath the earth. Others believed it came from considerably further away, because around 45 million years ago, something may have appeared in the sky. A piece of rock around 160 meters wide, traveling at extraordinary speed, straight towards our planet. And when it arrived, the North Sea would never be the same again. Tonight, we open the Silverpit file. The story begins in 2002. Geoscientists were examining seismic data collected from beneath the North Sea. They were not hunting asteroids. They were studying the geology beneath the seabed. But hidden in the data was something unusual. A vast circular structure, a central crater, a raised area in the middle, and surrounding it, rings of disturbed rock. It looked suspiciously like an impact crater. There was just one problem. It was buried beneath the North Sea. The structure became known as the Silverpit Crater, and the first explanation was spectacular. An asteroid, or perhaps a comet, had struck the Earth. But science has an irritating habit of asking for evidence, and not everyone was convinced. Some geologists argued that the structure could have been created by processes beneath the Earth. Salt moving underground, rock collapsing, tectonic forces pulling the crust apart. In other words, perhaps there had been no asteroid at all, just geology. For years the argument continued: impact crater, or an unusual geological collapse. In 2009, geologists gathered for a debate, and when the votes were counted, the impact theory lost, heavily. The majority believed the more ordinary geological explanation was probably correct, and that might have been the end of the file. Except the crater was still there, and the evidence wasn't finished. More than a decade later, scientists returned to Silverpit with something their predecessors had not possessed: far better data. New three-dimensional seismic imaging allowed researchers to examine the structure beneath the seabed in extraordinary detail. And this time, the crater began to reveal its secrets. At the center was something particularly interesting: an uplift, a raised structure created when rock beneath an impact rebounds violently upwards. It sounds impossible. Solid rock, flowing. But during an extreme impact, the forces are so enormous that rock can briefly behave in ways that seem almost unreal. They needed something stronger, something microscopic, and hidden inside old rock samples. They found it. Minerals showing evidence of shock. The crater had been hiding beneath the sea for millions of years, but the rock remembered. Their conclusion was difficult to ignore. Sometime around 45 million years ago, something enormous came out of the sky. The object is estimated to have been around 160 meters wide. Try to picture that. Not a pebble, not a shooting star. A mountain of rock moving through the atmosphere at tremendous speed. The modeling suggests that the impact generated enormous tsunami waves near the crater, potentially more than 100 meters high. Imagine a wall of water higher than Big Ben's Elizabeth Tower. The crater disappeared from sight, buried beneath the seabed, hidden for roughly 45 million years, until humans began searching for something completely different and found a scar from space. The scientists who originally proposed an impact may have been right, but for years, the evidence was not strong enough. And that is how science is supposed to work. Evidence decides, or at least, it tries to. Impact craters on Earth are difficult to preserve. Our planet is restless. Silverpit survived because it was buried, which raises an interesting thought. How many other scars are still down there, waiting for someone to notice that the geology looks wrong? Silverpit is not the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, but the universe doesn't need to end civilization to cause unimaginable destruction. A smaller object can still devastate a region, create a crater kilometers across, and send enormous waves across an ancient sea. The Earth contains stories far older than us. Occasionally, a story is written in seconds. The Silverpit file may finally have its answer. But look up tonight. The sky seems peaceful. until it isn't. And when it comes to what else may be hidden beneath our world, nobody really knows why. Until the next file.